Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Test Fly in the UH-1 Huey. And again, this series is documenting my efforts to learn the UH-1 from scratch and should not really be confused with the tutorial. The tutorial is going to come later once I figure all this stuff out. This is just documenting step by step what I'm doing to learn the aircraft, so hopefully you are learning something along with me as we go, however. But in this edition, it's been about a week since I've flown the Huey, so I start more or less where I left off. I'm going to run through a quick startup procedure and then get into a hover and make some comments about the challenge that I'm facing and start to pick up on some things that are making it easier for me as I go. I'm going to be reading a lot from the manual, so I'm going to do it fast as well. So if you really want to follow along, or if you're unable to follow me verbally as I go, because I really do read it fast because there is a lot to cover, I would recommend having the manual open or just looking at the kneeboard on the side of the screen, which you should be able to follow along and pause if you need to get caught up as we go. But let me go ahead and get into the air and we'll get started. Alright, last time around I got through the basic startup procedure and started looking at some systems. I got very familiar with the cockpit and got a feel for where everything was located. But this time what I want to do is get into the air, so I'm going to figure out how to communicate with the tower and do some flying and really figure out how to fly this thing. So I've got my kneeboard called up and let me go ahead and get things going. I'll run through the startup just because I think I have it down a little bit better now. So before starting engines, okay, DC breakers in, got it, dome light as required, got it, phase switch to AC, inverter off, AC, inverter is off, DC, main gen switch on, guard down, VM selector, central bus, got it, non-essential bus as required, and starter gen switch to start, got it, battery on, tone off, okay, GPU not required, fire test, oop, not you, okay, yeah, got it, fire test, light on, and let's see here, center pedestal, okay, I'm going to even out equipment off, I'm going to leave everything off for now. External stores and dispensers, okay, armor controls off, safe and normal, switches down. Are you safe? It looks, okay, I guess that is a safe position. It looked like it was in some sort of a center position. Okay, got that. And governor switch auto and fuel main switch on, although I did go out of order, and DI switch verified off. Got it. Caution lights, test, all lights on, reset, master caution light out, okay, got that. Hydraulic control switch on, force trim switch on, and chip detector verified to both, got it. Flight controls, check freedom of movement, okay, so I've got good free movement. I'm going to verify collective full down. Okay, starting engines. Okay, throttle set for start, and I think I do remember this entire procedure. Okay, so all the way over to the right, depress. Okay, rotate to the idle stop, or in other words, not the idle stop, past the idle stop to the cutoff. Okay, depress the start switch. Looking for rotor movement and RPMs building up. Rotor movement before 15%. Okay, I'm going to, got good movement, RPM's coming up. I'm going to pull it out of the cutoff position and put it into the idle. Okay, now it's at the idle stop. I'm looking for 40% or less than 40 seconds on the start, so everything seems to be going just fine. Let me get the door. Oh, it really moves the helo around. Okay, everything's looking real good. Okay, 30%. And coming up to 40%. Let me do some read aheads. Then I'll be inverter on. Check my engine and oil pressures, or engine oil and transmission oil pressures, and GPU disconnect. Okay, 40%. Seeing some lights go out on my master caution panel, which is always a good sign. I'll scope those out and see exactly what happened there eventually. Okay, but the rest of this was slowly advanced past the idle stop to the engine idle position. Okay, I already got that in 68 to 72%. So what I want to do now is open up the throttle slowly. Okay, and I've got my RPMs, all the RPMs coming up now. Okay, I've got my low RPM light out. Okay, looking good. 68 to 72%. I still haven't 100% figured this gauge out. Where the 70 is. Which tick marker is the 70? Is it the last one? Is it the red one? I haven't really figured that out. But I'm going to, just for the heck of it, I've already got, yeah, I have like a little governor increase switch here. I'm going to bump it up, just err on the side of, I just don't know what's what there and what RPM I'm at, honestly. I'm going to put it on the edge of the green and go with that for now, although I've got to research that. Okay, inverter, main on. Inverter, main on. Okay, engine, transmission, oil pressures. Okay, got that GPU disconnect. Okay, let me get some avionics going here. And specifically, I want to get some radios up and running so I can actually talk to somebody. Okay, so coming up, UHF, let me go transmit, receive. Okay, this is VHF FM, transmit, receive. That's on 30 megahertz. VHF COM, power on, 116. And nav, COM nav, I don't want that one yet. And I've got my, oh, what do you call that panel? It's got the mode 4. It's the transponders, transponder settings up there that I'm going to leave off for now since it isn't implemented. Okay, so avionics on, or at least everything that I want to have on at this point. Starter gen to standby gen. Got it. And fuel systems, engine, transmission, electrical check, RPM 6600, and okay, got all that. Yeah, the light was off from 61 to 6300. Okay, so I think I'm definitely getting the hang of the startup. So that's no sweat at all. That's a very, very simple process. Oh yeah, let me reset. I've got my IFF master caution. Maybe I will turn on my transponder. Yeah, I'll turn the panel on just to get the light to go away. Okay, and reset my master caution. Okay, master caution light out. Alright, now talking to the tower. The first question is, where am I? So, oh yeah, Mineralane Vodi. I've got to look up the pronunciation on that because I know that's not how you pronounce it. But you are 135001. Okay, so 135. Okay, there we go. 135. I'll take that as 13500. That might have been a typo. I don't think it goes in thousands. Okay, other thing down here. I know there's a switch that controls which radio is being transmitted on. I just gotta find it. It is the, yeah, it's right here. It's the mode switch. I want to be in the switch position that corresponds to the radio I want to transmit on. I want VHF AM. So I want position 3 to call the tower. Okay, let me give this a shot. Let me see here. Let me just request hover check. I don't hear myself talking, which is never a good sign. Let me try this.
Infield 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
If this doesn't work, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just take that as good enough for now. Because I was a little... yeah, I don't even know if that's the right frequency. It said 135.001. Maybe it was a typo and it was supposed to be 135.1. We try that one more time. And then I'm going to press.
Request taxi to runway.
Okay, no joy on comm. I'll get back to that at some point. It's not a big deal for now. I've got volume controls. Maybe it was just turned down. I don't think that's the case, though. But, yeah, anyway. Okay, take off to hover. During takeoff or any time the helicopter skids are close to the ground, negative pitch attitudes of 10 degrees or more can result in contact. Okay, so watch my pitch angle. Got it. Required. Pre-takeoff check complete. Got it. vertical ascent, constant heading. I want to stabilize at 3 feet. I want to get my radar altimeter up and running, so I've got a switch up here, radar altimeter, and there we go. That is up and running for now. So okay, so at least I'll have like a easy way to gauge how high I am off the ground. Okay, stabilize for a 3-foot hover. Okay, recommendations. Neutralize the stick. Observe the ground ahead of the cockpit. Use an area 15 to 20 feet in front of the helicopter for visual reference. Moving your view side to side. Slowly move the collective up and the helicopter lifts off to establish a hover in the altitude of 3 feet. Typically the toes come up, followed by the right skid and then the left skid. And there's another F-18 who seems to have taken damage. This must be a tough mission that I always load up on here. One of the most difficult elements of takeoff is maintaining the takeoff heading and attitude while minimizing deviation of the takeoff point over the ground and maintaining the vertical ascent. As the collective is raised, the helicopter changes of balance, requiring pilot to be prepared to perform the following inputs to compensate. Increased thrust results in a right yaw tendency, requiring measured input on the left anti-torque pedal, about 1/3 to 1/4, 1/3. Okay, so I need to put in some left anti-torque. Okay, increased thrusts. Okay, reduce ground friction on the skids, reduces the tendency to slide to the right. So that's going to mean... Okay, so that'll be cyclic left, about 1/6 to 1/5. Helicopter lifts off the ground, we'll have a tendency to nose down. Okay, and I got the warning about being careful not to nose down because I can damage the aircraft. And pull the cyclic back 1/6 to 1/5. Okay, so we've got a left rudder, right roll to the left and the right, and pulling back at the same time. Once free at the ground contact and balance the rotor main axis in flight, the helicopter will have a tendency to pitch nose up, resulting in backward movement of the helicopter, requiring a push to displace the thrust vector. Okay, so I'm going to have a tendency to nose down, followed by a tendency to nose up. Got it. After liftoff, assuming everything goes well up until then, maintain the helicopter heading and attitude of straight vertical ascent, approximately 3 feet of altitude. Stabilize by slightly lowering the collective while at the same time reducing left pedal input. Okay, so there it is visually, so I'll be able to look up here and yeah, I want down, left, and then left pedal. Okay, remember it's not equipped with any automated flight control systems. This means that all forward, back, left, and right tendencies need to be corrected with measured input of the cyclic, perform short, smooth, and most importantly, return movements. To aid in the timely input of the initial stages, remember to quickly glance left and right outside the cockpit ahead of the helicopter to simplify the control problem, minimize movements of the collective. Okay, got it. So let me give this a shot. Okay, so it was left, left pedal, roll left, and then pitch, or stick back. Okay, so I'm going to slowly increase collective. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing so far. I've got to keep going. Okay, I've got some slight movement. Okay, there's a little bit of yaw. Okay, correct that out. A little bit more yaw. Okay, just trying to be smooth here. Boy, that is moving around a lot. Okay, 2 feet. A little less yaw. There's that tendency for it to go back that I mentioned. And yeah, keeping track of what correction is doing what is kind of hard, because sometimes, yeah, especially with the yaw, I'm kind of in a couple of cases mistaking the yaw for roll. So okay, I think that's why. Yeah, let me set it back down right here, and then I am kind of established. Okay, a little bit forward. And there's the torque. Okay, that was that was interesting. Did I hit anything? No, thank goodness I have plenty of room in back of me. But yeah, just as advertised, had a noted tendency to go back, so... And also, yeah, like I was saying, keeping track of what correction is doing what, and using visual and figuring out what the visual cues mean. I think I was mistaking some yaw for roll and vice versa there and doing the wrong corrections. But, okay, that, the liftoff was manageable. I think I can repeat that at least. Okay, and then, yeah, got through the hover. Let me try that one more time and just try a little bit better to stabilize in the hover. Okay, so left pedal, back and left on the stick, collective coming up. It really requires a lot of collective. Yeah, keep coming. Okay, got it. Okay, that is manageable, and yeah, just like it said, small, very small control inputs. And just like it said, I'm keeping my eye out on. Well, I was going to grab my mouse and try to point out where I was focusing just then. Let me set it back down. Oh, that is much better. I was just focused out there on this little seam in the concrete, and maintaining that as a visual reference instead of like looking around or looking down here. Just focusing on that little seam helped out a lot that time. And that's it for this edition. I hope you did find it useful. If you did, hey, please consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, or leaving a comment in the comment section below. It sure is appreciated. I will see you next time.